All right, everybody, welcome to the Janitorials Podcast. I know you all are fans and we know where to find us, but I got to let everybody know in case we have new listeners. Anything on social media, just Google the Janitorials Podcast. You'll find us. If you want to watch, we're on YouTube as well. We video this stuff. I got my guys with me today. My man right here, Jerry.
What's up, everybody? Got introduced first this time.
Got introduced first.
Okay, I like it.
I want to see how close you guys are paying attention. What is he changing? My man over here, Joe Bear. What's up, buddy?
Second is the best.
Second is the best. We got the wizard over there on the ones and twos. Damn, terrible joke. All right.
Terrible joke.
As soon as it came out, I was like, yep. Today's topic is cancel culture. We're going to get into it, and we're going to give our spin on it. We ain't holding back nothing. All right.
Gloves are off.
Yep. So to start this off, we'll see where this goes. I'm going to read you the Google definition to cancel culture. Cancel culture or call-out culture is a phrase contemporary to the late 2010s and the early 2020s used to refer to a form of ostracism in which some is thrust out of the social professional circles, whether it be online or social media or in person. Those subject to this ostracism are said to have been canceled.
He's not talking about the bird people.
So, let's get into cancel culture. How you feel about it? There's a bunch of lazy bums out there. Fuck you, I disagree with you. I'm gonna cancel you. You disagree with me, I disagree with you. You're canceled.
unsubscribe from you.
Just to start off lightly. Sponsor this show. I don't care what you're promoting. We got you. Make sure
tampons. We'll show them.
We'll make sure you don't get canceled.
Make sure you don't get canceled.
I feel like cancel culture was a thing. I don't think it really is anymore. It's almost become like a normal thing. Like that said, in the early 2010s and into the 2020s, it got real hot for a minute, right?
Yeah.
Man, if you said anything.
People dancing around words and stuff like that. They got to use different words because of those keywords for the algorithm.
Yeah.
They're too scared to say what they want to say.
Exactly.
And that's sad because we all have the First Amendment, freedom of speech.
Right.
And, you know, to me, it's a way of censoring and punishment.
I like that. It is a way of censoring. Can you cancel somebody that's trying to cancel somebody? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give an example. Like, if you called somebody, gay, and they're like, oh, you can't do that, you're canceled. Well, then can I cancel that person? Like, no, I disagree with you, so I'm canceling you.
You're already going to be canceled, man. So to me, and I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for it, but I try to stay in the middle as much as I can. Yes, I lean more to one side than the other, but I do feel that a lot of this cancel is coming from one side more so than the other.
And why?
Whoa! Yeah, get into it.
Why is that? Why is it?
Because I think that they feel that their opinions are more important and their views on things. I don't know. I mean, to me, a lot of the things that I'm seeing that I don't agree with, I don't post it. So why should you be able to post your opinions? I don't cancel you, but if I say something in return, it offends you, or it goes against what you're wanting to push out, you cancel us.
Right. And
it's social. You're talking about
social media. Social media is the whole drive for this cancel culture.
Yeah.
Because you could really break it down to defamation. It all comes down to defaming somebody, which is what cancel culture is. I'm going to take away your fame.
Not really.
It depends on whether I'm actually defaming you. If you put yourself out there, it's just you're a roast at that point. You want to get roasted? Go ahead. You want to take your gloves off? Let's fight.
Well, you're just unable to utilize the platforms in social media realms that they don't support that agenda, the other side. But they do support, canceling people who don't.
Social media is not a great environment because it's not a fair bridge. It's not It's not a fair town hall.
Right. Exactly.
See, to me, it's a way of people that are having a conversation or an argument that if one side doesn't fit their agenda, they want to get it out of there, so they cancel them so they can't be on there. Prime example is the 2016 presidential elections.
Yeah. When people got to talking about how they felt like, you know, the mysterious vans and stuff that was showing up, you know, and people were
During certain organizations that
right. So, I mean, they have the poll watchers. I can't remember. They're like lawyers. They're lawyers from like all over the nation, and they go and watch the polls, and they have to abide by both sides. Both sides have to allow each other to view what's going on as far as the ballots and everything like that. And I mean, I'm usually in the middle. I don't, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I agree with one side or the other, but there's just, you know, it's always going to be shady shit going on. You know, there's going to be corruption everywhere, as we all know, but there's a lot of shady stuff that is going with that. And not to say that there hasn't been shady shit going on the whole time. It's just that I think right now with the political arena, everyone is paying attention to it more than ever. Than, you know, let's just say like the last 15 years, like when let's just say when Bush was the president. I feel like there's more people now involved in politics than it was in like in the Bush era. A lot of people who weren't really, you know, they weren't really paying attention.
Ever. There's more involved ever now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere. And what's crazy is like we've had this discussion many times at work, especially I did a fucking deep dive during the presidential election, right? Zach knows it. Every fucking day I was talking about it.
Oh my God.
After that, when I actually realized like how far down I fucking went down that rabbit hole, I'm like, I'll never again will I do this.
It got so bad that when we went outside, I had to be like, Jerry, let's talk about anything but this.
Yeah. But the craziest fucking thing is what actually like really hit me was when you and another person from our company was, I was showing them my social media. I'm like, look at this. And like they started showing me theirs, completely fucking different.
Yep. Yeah.
Completely different. So you guys were getting fed one thing and I was getting fed something else, and it made the other side look fucking terrible.
Yeah, because it's all an algorithm. There's a documentary on it that I watched. You know, anytime you look at something, that just seconds start rolling. It's called The Social Dilemma, if anybody wants to watch it. And they base that on how long you were on a page. They feed you ads.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question. Do you think? I think that cancel culture should exist, but only in a good way. Like,
What's the good way?
So, like,
There is really no good way, because even like the fact checkers, right? When they went back and checked to see who the fact checkers were, it was corporations, and it was automation. It wasn't even actual people sitting there going through shit like saying, "Oh, that's not right." No, it was actually automation or AI going through and looking at the keywords, and they just, you know.
How do you fact check anybody right now?
A good way, just right off the top of my head, that I'll think of an example is like Enron, right? Yeah. I think that was a good cancel, right?
Yeah.
Because they're fucking up.
Yeah, right.
I believe we absolutely need it. It's all about accountability.
Right?
This all boils down to keeping people accountable. If
But
you can't start with your senators and your politicians and get them to be accountable,
yeah, but see, I completely disagree. Because if you start canceling people, you're taking away their right to be able to say whatever they want. It's the First Amendment. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter.
No. We're canceling you for reasons being that you have a large stock option in something, and you're over here preaching about this shit. Meanwhile, you're over here making all this money off of some stocks that you have no business.
That's business, man.
Well, that's also
business. That's calling people out.
That's also illegal, though. Isn't that part of like insider trading and shit like that?
No, that's how politicians work. They buy something and then they put their interest in their needs for their states based off it going. It just happens to be that all politicians have out-farmed themselves to other countries.
But that's corruption, though. It's part of corruption. That's not legal.
It's legal if you work within the framework of our government. It's all business.
It's not legal. It's just they get away with it.
All legal.
Yeah, but even if people cancel them from like all the social medias and stuff like that,
I'm trying to tell you,
they're still going to be doing it.
Everyone spent all their fucking
so it's not
time
helping.
Actually paying attention to what the politicians are doing, then they'd be properly canceling the motherfuckers that would.
that, and then like I don't know, I try to
But
take
when
common
you're sitting over
sense
here
into
worried
it.
about superstars, or you're worried about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard,
Who gives a fuck about that?
all
Right?
it's teaching
I ain't
you.
gonna lie. I watched all.
Yeah, oh
I,
my
It's just
God.
teaching
but I'm
you what you
that's
gotta look
another
at the
addiction of
picture.
mine. Like I like fucking watching court hearings.
But like, all right,
I
so,
watch all kinds of different court.
so I'll
hearings.
bring up an example, right? Y'all know that porn star that went to the George Floyd statue and like flashed her tits, right? She got canceled. I think you should get canceled for that.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that, but
Right.
I don't know anything about that either.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Well,
I have to
she passed away now.
Hold on, but
she passed away.
She's dead now of an overdose. But like,
see, first thing I thought of was overdose.
God,
Yeah.
jeez.
but yeah, she got canceled because I mean that's just common sense though.
That
was
just wrapped up
supposed
in
to
the
be,
last
like,
episode, people.
Jesus.
a meaning of good, and she went there and flashed her titties. All right, maybe that was her way of bringing attention to it. I don't know, but that was a stupid move in my mind.
Yeah, no.
But what type of
like,
canceled are you talking about? Canceled off social media? Like what are you talking about when it comes to that?
So that's where it gets crazy. Like that's what I'm asking. There's like good things and bad things. Like if you get canceled off social media, then who gives a fuck?
Right.
I don't even have social
Well,
media.
at the end of
Some people's lifestyle is nothing but
Some
social media
people,
now.
right? So you could really fuck some people up with that, right?
But at the same time,
So-
we have to be very careful with that because that is a lot of people's. We're one of them. It's our way to get our message across to people. It's our First Amendment right, freedom of speech and freedom of the press.
yeah,
If you start taking that away, you're taking people's constitutional rights away.
yeah.
But we're not specifically talking about canceling somebody. Taking
Then what do you
right
mean by
away.
canceling?
Because by canceling, there are people who say things like what we're talking about right now, and then you go to work. Just in case, let's look at Jordan Peterson, and we look at the swimsuit model. He shouldn't have said what he said. It almost got him literally canceled all his years.
Wait, go
What'd he
back.
say?
Let's revisit that
So
because I like Jordan Peters.
Jordan Peterson is a very conservative man and super by the book about things. And so he came on after that swimsuit model who got a deal and then was over, I guess she's plus size, but she wasn't plus size to me as like, when I think of plus size, I'm thinking
He
ladies
pictures
like
me.
300 plus pounds and the swimsuit's got like a swimsuit with it. Whereas if you could still put a one piece on and look pretty good and there's not like some rolls going on, then you're not really like an over heavy set weight girl. You're
I
not.
got more rolls in a bakery, baby.
So you got you got girls who are trying to fit themselves into a category of being like, I am the face of all these other girls who are 300 fucking whale degree pound shaped sizes.
Yeah.
And it's not relative. It doesn't make sense. So he comes on there being like, yeah, no, I would never in such world would I ever allow you guys to doctor up what plus size women are, essentially.
Yeah.
By putting someone who fits a bill but still just outside the realm. I'm like, yeah, guys are gonna be like the average American guy looking like y'all is still gonna be like, man, that's just kinda hot still. Right? You're not gonna turn away that. But if I threw in there a fucking Free Willy, you're gonna be like,
Fucking Free Willy.
you're gonna be
No,
okay.
so
and
I
you're not-
have
you're
a-
gonna
I have a
cancel me.
question,
No,
though.
no dude in their right mind is gonna cancel me. But if I sit in there and you come in there and I am Jordan Peterson and I've got this eclectic degree and you just sit there and shot yourself in the foot by trying to say some shit about women, that's a setup in my mind because people should know better, but they don't because their minds have been fucked up.
He's a G though, by the way.
So
motherfucker.
what other types of cancel culture is there? Because the only ones that I've actually seen or heard of
Yeah.
is more of the social media side.
It's more it's that's what I'm saying. It goes to defamation because you're playing a game.
Yeah, but how are they canceling them is my question.
Well, he's a Canadian, so fuck him. He's canceled. He's canceled.
You're getting canceled.
Easy, we might have Canadian people.
We don't. We looked at the analytics.
Okay.
We don't. We have the analytics.
I understand what you're saying. Social media is the easiest outlet by
true.
which it is
It's true.
to spread that stuff.
Right.
But it's still nothing new as the old outlets of news. Old outlets, you could try to break a story on somebody and literally tank their career.
Okay, but what I'm saying
So
is
that's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Like when you said, what is cancel culture? You define it as like, I'm going to financially, you're done doing what
Yeah.
you do.
Well, they tried to do that to Joe Rogan. They
Yeah,
tried.
that's-
Joe Rogan.
that's
yeah,
essentially-
They
but
should.
at the same
Somewhat,
time,
but
It's he got money though. He's got money.
It's the difference. It's
Well-
literally that. And then Comcast came along, I think, or someone else came, Roku or whatever, and was like, "We'll double you. We'll double it if this keeps
now
getting worse."
Spotify.
Spotify.
No,
Spotify.
Spotify paid $100 million.
Yeah.
Another service recently came out and said your contract.
Oh,
will stop."
Rumble. It was
Yeah,
Rumble.
Rumble.
Because if you
It was
got the
Rumble.
fan support,
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
It does not
Yeah, it
matter
don't-
because
it
they
don't
That,
want
dude, that dude's like number one
just
on the
like we're doing this
podcast
show.
for the past
We do this show
how many
because
years?
one reason why do we want to
At
do this
least,
show?
like, what,
the
10?
janitorials is about controversial topics.
Yeah.
We got on this because we want to be able to say some controversial stuff and have people not lose their mind over context.
If you can prove you can make a company money, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to go back where it starts with.
Look at-
It
look at-
starts
But
with the
it does
politicians.
though.
You got to cancel the right people.
That's yeah.
They tried to cancel our last president, and the social media was mainly driving that, right? But if you actually look back at what some of the shit that he was saying,
It's what's
It's-
happening.
it's actually happened or
Yeah.
hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet.
Give me an
Yeah.
example.
inflation, gas prices. Trump was talking about that. He was talking
We're going to be
about
going
gas
to
prices.
another world war.
And
Guess
even-
what's going on
and
right now?
Hold on,
We
hold
just
on.
talked about $1.19 when we were kids. That's always going to go
But
up.
no, not
yeah,
really. Think
but-
about it,
No,
though.
we haven't
For
had-
the
But
past,
we've-
for if you look at the past 30, 60 years from
As
60
much
years ago until it started going up with Bush, it only went up a couple cents.
talking about the increments, it has gone up since what's been going on.
They're talking dollars now, not
yeah,
cents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you'd be like, oh man, they just threw 10 more cents up there, and we were like, fuck. But
Yeah, now it jumps
it's-
up like $3, all but over double what it was last year.
Every time
60 years ago, a gas station manager was making $7 an hour.
That's still minimum wage
now
now.
they make 18.
he was
of
making
course,
$7 an hour
Everything
back
goes
then.
up. Like you can't compare. I don't
That's
think
a
I don't
lot.
think you can compare today to 60
a
years
lot.
ago. Like we already did a show two
can't,
episodes
'cause
ago.
60 years ago, we could all live and retire, and our wives could work at home.
The
They wouldn't
60
have to
years
go to
was saying
work,
that's
which
how much
largely
gas
comes
was
into the
versus
process
now.
of-
It only went up like 20 cents, 30 cents.
Yeah, right.
Versus the past 10 years where it's went up
the more
double
you
that.
think you're
Dollars.
free,
60
you're not free.
60 years ago, we couldn't do what we're doing right now.
Yes, you can.
Just a
No, we'd have to go to a radio station
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah.
and
But
make-
still,
You
make
can
it
we could
buy
do
a
it.
lot.
money.
But you
It
can still do
comes
it.
down to the same thing as it ever was. It's money.
Yeah, I was gonna
Social
say,
media makes
yeah,
everything
it's
so
money.
much easier. So
It's money.
that's where all the cancel culture is really
This
coming
is where
from to me.
I understand what he's trying to say because with social media, we can now build our platform
And we're
try to
doing it
put
here.
ourselves put out there.
No
But
sponsors
the
yet.
money hasn't changed. That's what it really boils down to. Is the money just changed pools of where you get it from? You have to have more money to make it big now than you did before. Before we could sit down in our garage, we could come up with stuff. We'd really have to use our brain. Maybe
Hold on a
with
second, Justin.
goddamn-
You can hold my beer and watch what I'm going to do. Because we're going to the top with no fucking money. Joe Rogan, here we go.
with balls like that.
So give me something else then besides gas and inflation. That's always going to be there.
Like what? That
I don't
Trump
know,
has said?
Yeah.
Oh man, I shouldn't fucking say anything because I didn't do the research. I'm like, God
I
damn
don't
it!
even pay attention to politics though. I don't even vote. So I'm just going to give you my pure
It's
reaction.
okay. You'll be just like him sticking a fist in your mouth.
The fuck? Where's the button on that thing?
We just got canceled right now.
Yeah. God.
Well,
damn.
well, I get immigration. He said if y'all don't, start doing something about it, keeping track of who's coming over here. He didn't say stop.
Wow, he was out there pounding, build a wall, build a wall.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was because all the following wanted him to do that. A lot of the people, especially
What has Biden done that he said he was
hold on.
going to do?
He's
Hold on.
pandering to voters.
Not just voters though. People there's farmers that were being killed right at the border because people was crossing over. The cartel was crossing over these people's farmland in Texas, and they were getting killed. So they were like, "Where's the help coming from? Where are we
so
going to
what-
get some help?"
Then what was his response? He separated families and put them in cages.
Yeah, just like every previous administration had done before.
And I guarantee
wait,
you,
hold
it's
on,
still,
hold on.
I guarantee
no,
you
no,
it's
no,
still
no, no,
going
no, no,
on
hold
under
on.
Biden.
Hold on, I got you. Who brought back those cages?
I don't know. Who?
Obama. See, a lot of people don't
See,
fucking
I don't
know
pay
that.
attention to politics. I'm
Yeah.
just giving you
Oh,
my
and a
raw-
lot of people forget that Obama brought that back.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm
Just
learning
like
today.
just like what Obama brought back.
then why
he,
didn't- then
he
why-
shut down Guantanamo. Then he shut down, and then Trump brought it back.
Then why didn't we try to cancel Obama?
Why?
Yeah.
because it didn't fit the narrative of
You
one
couldn't.
side.
Because he had enough support.
You couldn't.
Right.
He was.
which-
They made people afraid to speak out against the first black president because that was the first. That's what they were saying.
100%.
Right.
You want to talk about silencing and canceling people? That's all they did.
So that's what I'm saying, like good and bad. What's good and what's bad?
'Cause
That
it
we
was-
should have canceled him.
At first it was like, oh, if you speak back about Obama, you're a racist. And
Yeah,
then when
racist,
black
right.
people come out and be like, yeah, we don't really support him. You know, I'm not saying all black people, but there was people out there that was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then it's like, you're an Uncle Tom. And it's just like, what? We were just on the same side just like 10 minutes ago until I said I didn't like his policy on Obamacare. Now I'm a racist or Uncle Tom, you know, like you're not even all the way black. It's like, I am actually. Both parents are black.
All right, I don't know where to go from there.
Can't touch that. I'll get canceled.
Right?
I mean, my 1/16 doesn't count for that.
So then I consider that a bad thing then.
What's that?
People saying you can't say that because you're an Uncle Tom then.
Yeah,
That's a bad thing to me.
It is.
right. But you can't, I mean, you can't cancel a group of people over that because it's that people will agree with them. They'd be like, well, he's actually right. Or I mean, they would agree with the group of people that's calling me the Uncle Tom because I didn't agree to the fucking free cell phones that did nothing for everybody. Fucking Obamacare, which I got charged. My at the end of the year, my what was it? I had to pay extra because I didn't have health care for myself. My family had health care, but it was just so expensive to add me to that. So I just didn't have health care. Well, I had health care for like a couple of the months out of the year, but it wasn't like the whole year. So I got fined. For not having health care. And even my tax dude was like, oh, well, we're looking good. But he was like, but you owe $1,000 because of Obamacare. And I was just like, what?
Me too. I had to pay $1,000 because I
thought it was only-
insurance for 3 months.
They told us it was only supposed to be $500.
Yeah, I got fined.
They kept saying it was $500, and I was like, well, shit, I'll eat the $500. But then when I went to go pay taxes at the end of the year, it was a fucking $1,000, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the same thing happened to me. I got fined for not having health insurance.
So I mean, for saying that though, some people would be like, well, like people that that was for the whole Obamacare. They were like, yeah, everybody should be paying for, should be paying the same amount. But it's like, I don't need prenatal care. Like, why am I being charged for prenatal care? I don't need that. My wife will need it. I don't need that. I need something that's going to be tailored to me.
So then should we, like what Justin said, should we cancel, the wizard, should we cancel social media?
Well, so we going back to that. So what I was going to say was,
Are there too many hands and everybody stirring?
you have to respect the platform that you are on at the end of the day, because you didn't create it. I didn't create it. It was fucking Google. Come on now, Google. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm probably going to get canceled
all
for
of them,
that.
Facebook, all of them, like
Yeah.
Twitter. I mean, you think about what they did to. They didn't like what Trump was saying, so they ended up canceling it, so you didn't have to deal with it anymore. True to say. Whether or not what he was saying was true or false, they didn't give him the correct amount of time to prove that he was actually right or wrong
on what subject?
on any subject.
every-
They canceled.
every-
He
everything
wasn't
he
right
said.
on every subject.
Nobody
I'm not
said
saying-
he
I'm not
was.
saying he was.
But
But what I'm saying
what
is
he's
they-
saying is everybody right all the time?
No.
Exactly. So
Should I get
you-
canceled for being wrong?
If you're a president of the United States, I think that you should be a little bit more smarter with your words.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
hold on.
Should you? Can't. I'll answer you guys' question. No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
Because
But-
I believe in the
'cause-
First Amendment.
Right.
Because our president, your favorite president right now, just told us. Well, I ain't gonna say he just told us, but
My favorite president.
My favorite president's dead, buddy.
Shit, dude.
6 months ago, he told us that we don't have anything to worry about. That it was going to be the inflation was going to be transitory.
And in my opinion, he's just as dumb as Trump.
Right. But he's not getting canceled for
favorite
incorrect information.
But nobody's going back to talk about it, just like they did with Trump. So there's definitely there's definitely a agenda out there. There's definitely
goes back to what we started with. If you have the supporters, what do you think the media wants?
Whatever's going to sell.
Yes. So trashing him is not going to sell, right? Trashing Trump.
It didn't
sells.
work. Yeah, but it didn't work.
He won.
No, I'm talking about Trump. Like they trashed Trump, and then he still won, but throughout the entire his presidency,
That was
like
what 6 years ago now.
But they worked. What was crazy to me, instead of accepting him as the president of the United States, they spent 4 years
Trashing him.
trying to
Yeah.
get rid of him.
Yep.
And it drives me crazy.
How many times have I heard-
Biden won, right?
It
This
proved
one?
the point. If we actually, like I said, spent the time to focus on the politics and making these guys look like transparent glasses in a church.
Instead of a fucking
and have-
popular contest.
Yeah, instead of popularity contest. And when that light comes through that stained glass, we know what fucking image we're seeing, as opposed to some make-believe bullshit.
But that's always been the case. Like they're never going to tell us the truth,
It should
right?
anymore.
True.
We
They're
live-
never
we're
going
in the
to.
21st century.
True, but in these
22nd century
days-
coming here in another 100 years, we should not. People should be smart enough now that they shouldn't be trying to sidetrack us. They're trying to curtail the internet so that you're dumbing it down. So
But
they
they
can
did
keep
that
us
with the
from being-
newspaper. You have to do your own
Precisely.
research
You
to
said
be
it.
able to get the correct information.
People in
That's what I
power
learned during the
controlling a narrative.
last campaign. Do your own research, get multiple different sides.
I agree with that.
That's the essence of a true debate: knowing how to argue from every side.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. When I went down that rabbit hole, it was looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know how the fuck these guys dealt with me.
It was rough. It was rough.
Seriously,
buddy.
like it was bad, man.
It was rough, buddy.
But before I fucking say anything and put anything in my, put my foot in my mouth, I want to get both sides of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like,
But can you blame somebody for trying to start, I don't want to say like a motion or start a something that they believe in?
Movement?
Can you movement. Can you blame somebody for trying to start that?
no, absolutely not. And we're talking about movements. Black Lives Matter was a perfect example of this. It was a great idea, and I think that they
yeah.
had the right intentions.
Yeah.
But then social media, along with everybody else,
Made it
the
worse.
wrong people got into it, and it trashed the idea. And then you actually had cities on fire.
Well, they started getting exposed. The Black Lives Matter started getting
It's
exposed.
infiltrated.
But
Yeah.
now,
well,
now
I
look-
feel like the true.
Exposure can be good, but the
They-
exposure that they were getting is like he said, media loves things to be bad.
I think.
now,
I think.
but what do you remember from the Black Lives Matter more than anything?
Just
I
the
think-
destruction.
Right? You don't think about police brutality. You don't think about like making Black lives better in America nowadays.
So yeah,
No.
I'll answer that question. When you say Black Lives Matter, what instantly pops into my head, right? It's nothing positive.
No.
It's riots in cities.
Honestly,
Right.
the first thing
Yeah.
that pops into my mind is I can't breathe. That one dude.
Right.
The guy,
But see, that
dude
to
died
me is
became-
down lower on it.
Right.
To me, like when I think of Black Lives Matter, that's lower
But
on my
remember,
list.
that's the whole point. They kept downplaying it and
Right.
downplaying. There was
Right.
there's how many other murders that went on, and only that one was the one.
Dude, there
that
was
got pushed through.
children getting shot in Chicago, like with straight bullets, and nobody was marching for them.
Right.
That's when I was like,
It's the
these
thing, you got
motherfuckers,
this
boy.
entitlement where we make fun of white people as rednecks and fucking toothless motherfuckers.
I got on my
But
teeth.
think about this: it's the
I'm good.
I'm not showing
the
mine.
white people. We have degenerated ourselves.
He's from West Virginia. They created the toothbrush.
Go ahead,
in the
Joseph.
sense of the case that we know we've degenerated ourselves. And then you look at another culture, such as African Americans living in it, they're just getting through their wild, wild west period.
Right.
And then on the other half coin, they've come to their star power now. They've got them blown up in Hollywood and all this stuff. It's just a thing where it's going to pan out.
But that's
over
a
time.
bad thing then. Like if nobody thinks anything positive out of something that's supposed to be positive,
Right.
should we stop the thing that's ruining positiveness?
We should absolutely know when to stop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a human
When you
nature
know-
to know better and
'Cause
to
it's-
stop. If
it's
you
all
don't
about
know
money.
How to stop?
They're
It's a cry for attention.
they've
you-
raised so much money, right? They've raised so much money through Black Lives Matter, and I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard, through the grapevine.
Just like church functions, they're wasting some of that money buying shit they shouldn't.
Yep,
buy.
exactly. The original starters of Black Lives Matter, the 3 females. They I mean, just a lot of information that's just come out over the years. Like
Power corrupts, man.
They've used the money to buy multiple homes, to hire cooks and stuff like that. So they're making money off of dead black people. I mean, they're making,
They line their pockets just like any other organization does.
Right.
But they never got canceled. Why
No.
is that?
No.
Nobody
Because-
wants to touch that.
Because you cannot cancel black people. They make you afraid to cancel black people. But you got like a group called, the Proud Boys. Oh, they fucking arresting them left and right.
But are they all one race?
No, and that's the other thing. The Proud Boys are not all white. No, that is.
Okay, I was just checking
Because they're not, and most of them are in interracial relationships.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said that predominantly most of them are white.
I was just checking.
I know they're not all white, but
Yeah.
the majority of them is.
Yeah, but if they were like skinheads, come on now, bro. You wouldn't have fucking a Mexican dude or a Spanish guy running the whole fucking show.
All right, but here's a
Like,
great thing, right?
The dude is of color.
yeah.
You know?
Right?
Now,
That's how fucked up it is.
But media, if you didn't know media, when you think of it,
think-
Proud Boys, you think of skinhead, neo-Nazi,
KKK, all
fucking,
that shit,
yeah.
I'll quote a movie, fucking Cobra, right? That's what you think of. Just because we've been talking about it a lot.
Sorry, I haven't seen that movie.
That's the only
That is
reason I
my
brought it up.
movie.
Right?
Cobra.
That's what you think of, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The guys with the axes.
But when
Yeah.
do it. God damn it.
I had to.
Now,
ahead.
so we never, Black Lives Matter never got canceled, right? But when Trump started that rally and they marched down and they did something that they shouldn't have done,
Oh, you're talking about January 6th?
Yeah. They took that to a whole nother level, right?
I'm going to jump on that real quick, and I'm going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Have you watched any of the January 6th court proceedings?
The court proceedings? No, I haven't. Are they good?
Wondering. I was watching one when I was getting my hair cut.
Was it good?
That was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, but I also
Amber
haven't
Heard and Johnny Depp you watched.
And I also did watch, but I did watch Rittenhouse, right?
Right.
That was good. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Now let me tell you something. What does irritate me about the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard,
Yeah.
and then Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was done in half the time of what Johnny Depp was, and this man was convicted of murder on 2 different charges and assault with a weapon and all that shit. Right? This kid's life was on the line.
Yeah.
And it was just insane how fast they pushed that through versus this because of social media.
I feel like that was a distraction, though, to be honest.
it might
I
be.
do. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, they're actors,
Oh,
an
that was a straight
actress.
distraction.
I feel like it was a distraction from the gas
I mean,
prices.
you watched that
the
bitch do a
war.
bump,
Right? Stupid.
Oh yeah, I did
think
see.
I'm lying?
I did see.
I rewatched
did
it a
see
couple
that.
times.
I saw that.
Got that tissue there?
Yep, I've seen that.
Hey.
I haven't watched it, so all I've heard is this shit.
I'll show you. I'll show you after. But what I was trying to get into that was that the social media portrayed them to be awful people, this and that, da 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 da. But they were doing the same thing as what some of the people were doing on the other side as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying it was right or wrong.
Right.
I'm saying that both sides had good intentions.
But nothing was
But-
on fire.
But when it was executed poorly.
Did both
Am
sides
I-
have good intentions?
I
Because
think
I'm
so.
thinking
I
about
feel
starting
like-
my own media company and just actually doing real
Reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, but we would
what Vice
get
started off
canceled.
as.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Al Jazeera.
Oh, Vice.
Yeah, that's how they started off.
Yeah, like,
But if you think about like all the First Amendment orders,
That's what I want us to do.
they get harassed all the time by police officers. All the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Independent.
We would be in jail. Just
Yeah, we would.
I'll put it out there. We would
Yeah.
be
No,
in
we
jail.
wouldn't.
We better not have.
Yes, you would.
You get smarter about how to deal with
No,
yourself.
sir. It
didn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
It
You're
didn't
still.
matter.
You have to prove that you're innocent,
It's fine as long as you prove you have.
but you're still getting arrested. You're still
Go
going to
ahead.
jail.
As long as you know your rules and your laws, you're gonna fucking walk out of court.
Yes.
You're just talking about when they ham you up to keep you from getting from the next place to
Yes.
the next place.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what a lawyer's for.
Who cares? You're still not getting that story that day.
If your lawyer there's representing you, then you're fine. It's what you have a lawyer represent you for.
Don't
Most people
work
just
like
can't-
that.
People just can't
I mean,
afford a
there's
lawyer.
court of public opinion's a motherfucker, man.
Yep.
Like, nothing I can do about that.
The internet's the internet. You can
Yeah.
make it go away. Once you're in the court, you can't make it go away.
I don't know, man. I see a lot of different audits and stuff, and the shit that they get stopped for just blows my mind.
Okay.
Still comes down to having money and being able to back up what you want to say.
It doesn't matter. Like you're still not gonna get that story for today. You're still getting arrested until you actually bond
Everything
out.
comes down to the amount of money and who you know.
If I had
Let me ask
Trump's
you a
money, I'm still going to fucking jail.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
He
question.
might go to jail too.
That's what I'm
All the
saying.
shit he said.
Good.
I'm gonna try to somehow tie this into cancel culture. I just watched a movie that you recommended to me, right?
Okay. Which one was that?
Called Hustle.
How'd you think of that?
Okay, right?
Yep.
Good movie, right?
Yeah.
And that whole movie was about come
Not yet.
from nothing and make it to the top. Have you actually done the research on that guy?
No.
Okay, he grew up rich as fuck. His dad played for Real Madrid. His mom was a fucking famous athlete too.
Good ass movie.
Good ass movie, but should that get canceled then? Because they're telling a lie.
No, because that's different. It's not. It's not a documentary.
It's okay. It's
Right.
based on fiction.
Right.
I'll give you that. But they used a real guy
Yeah, but maybe they couldn't. Maybe they couldn't tell that real story though. There was something behind.
because
that,
nobody would be
maybe.
like, "Fuck
Nobody
you, you
would
grew up
watch
rich
it.
as shit."
just like the other show that I recommended to you.
I see what you're saying.
American, All American. It was based off this guy. The stories that he grew up in the poor town, right? Now, this motherfucker grew up in Hollywood. Went to Hollywood High. All right, but it's still a good fucking show.
That's a good right. All right, so fantasy fiction. But I think if you're gonna make a movie on
Rags to riches.
rags to riches,
Yeah.
find somebody that actually did it.
Yep.
Is there?
Millions of them.
Would it make a good movie?
It would be real.
I mean, I watched 8 Mile. That wasn't a documentary. Was it really all of it true?
Palms are sweaty.
Vomit on his.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah. Forgot the song.
It wasn't a documentary, but it was loosely based, right?
Just like Hustle.
Okay, very loosely.
Very
But you see what I'm saying?
Very
though?
loosely. True. All right. That's why I was saying I was going to try to
Yeah,
bring
I mean,
it into
that-
cancel culture. I know
now,
it was like
but-
a far stretch, but like
But if it was a documentary, absolutely, I think it should be completely off the table.
Right.
because
It
it's
shouldn't.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. Bad versus good.
Right. And just like, what they're doing in our schools, which we're going to be getting into the next episode, and what they decide to teach and what they're not teaching, I think that's total bullshit. I think that it should go through
The parents.
We're going
a lot.
Well, let's wait till the next episode.
on some things,
For that.
but I think they should stop taking things out of history that they're not teaching anymore.
Let's wait till the
I
next
agree.
episode.
I agree. I
But
agree.
I'm not talking
Teach-
about just
teach
that. I'm talking about
I
in
know.
general.
I know.
But that's a whole different thing too. I mean, to me, the cancel culture though is mainly off of social media.
And it's mainly
It's mainly off social
And
media.
it's
Do
mainly-
you think it's a fad that's coming to an end? Like
No.
when we started off. I do. I think
hell no.
It's going to come to an end
no.
because there's no such thing as bad publicity. You understand that the
There-
people used to pay money for the Inquirer and the Star.
But we're
The
in
shit-
that
it's
thing
just-
where it's like
it's just
that
all over the
offends me
internet
still.
now.
You know
Because
what I mean?
people, are their laurels and their morals are shit.
I don't know. It's kind of getting to the point of like the boy who cried wolf, right?
Yeah.
Cried so many times. That's why I say is the fad coming to an end.
No,
And when
I don't
it's
think so.
real, it doesn't really fucking matter.
I don't think so. I think
I think it's going to come to an end on one side, but the other side's still going to try to use it.
No, what you're going to see is that you're going to see us actually starting to feel an area of how to deal with actual mental abuse. We got how to deal with physical abuse on the books. We have no fucking clue how to deal with mental abuse.
Mental abuse on the side, and I'm not. When I say one side, I'm not saying the left or the right. I'm saying the people that are in the middle, and you got the extreme left and you got the extreme right.
was about to-
That's in that same. They're almost fucking touching, right? That's the side I'm talking about.
Okay. To the people that don't care about any of it.
To the people that don't give a fuck about it, it's not gonna. It's coming to an end. But to the extreme lefts and to the extreme rights, they're still going to try to push it as much as they can
Of
because it
course.
doesn't fit their agenda.
Right, of course. That's what I was about to say because it doesn't fit what they're pushing.
Right.
Yeah, but they've been doing this forever. One side's always been trying to cancel the other in some way or shape or form.
It's fucking damn near human nature, right? There's never gonna have two people that agree 100% on anything.
So it's funny you said that because I have that noted here. People have challenged each other.
Like a Reggie note.
Yeah, right. Damn, he's like fucking reading my notes and shit.
Read it.
So people have challenged each other, others' views for much of human history,
Yeah.
and I feel that we wouldn't be sitting here at this table if we all agreed with every single thing that we've talked about.
I'm just going to tell you always
right?
suck. What you talking about?
Huh?
You heard me.
I didn't.
I'm going to tell you always suck. What else is new?
Hell no. We sit at this table because we
man
all
talks a
have
lot of shit
4
behind the
different
camera.
views, and like just two of us could be talking about something, and then somebody's gonna yell something out of their office, and then somebody else is gonna stand up and laugh, and somebody else is gonna, you know, what I
we
mean?
just fucking egg it on.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, but it makes it interesting, and I think that personally, cancel culture to me you shouldn't be allowed to cancel anything. I think people should be entitled to their opinions, and I think that the people that are hearing it need to do their own research
that
to see if
defeats-
it's
I
right.
agree with it because you in the back in the day you just got smarter and you walked away. You researched more and you
Yes.
came back to the debate.
Yes.
You didn't walk
I
away
was-
and then be like, "Oh, I'm coming back with my tail
This
between my
motherfucker
legs."
got
But you
me.
came
I'm
back
Yeah.
ready with the like. You
I'll
came
get with
back
that.
ready to fight.
Yeah, because that takes away from the debate. Period.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll
you
get
have to
with
go
that.
back,
Like, what'd you
regroup.
say? Someone killed themselves after getting canceled?
Well, she died of
No,
a
she
drug
overdosed.
overdose. I don't know if because of that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but I'm just thinking that she basically was like, "Oh
Lived
my
a crazy
God,
lifestyle.
with me."
But that's
and then
different
friggin'
though.
took
In another
herself out.
country, that probably would have been okay. But here in America, it's not really because a woman flashing her tits.
what country?
A lot of
Yeah,
So my
somewhere
buddy
in
over in,
Europe,
in Cuba, he was taught at a very young age about like sex and everything else like that. That we don't do, and Americans frown upon, but it's normal at other cultures.
Yeah, I mean, we're stupid
I like titties.
culturally, right? But
Culturally, yes, but fucking retards.
I do
Oh, I
too.
can't say
Right?
that.
I don't
I'm
know
with
why
you.
she
Yeah.
got
I'm with
canceled.
you.
I don't know what they thought it was like something disrespectful.
It was
Maybe
probably
it was.
decent exposure
Yeah,
in front of
so,
like
like-
kids and shit like that.
With what you said, I'll get with that on 75%. I do think there's 25% of like just common sense.
Yeah.
You know, if it's shitty, then it's shitty.
Yep.
You know, it's why we talk about it. We sit
Right,
here. I mean, we're
right.
sitting here. You guys may think me and him are going back, but we are. But this is like my best friend. We're gonna
Right.
go upstairs and we're good. We'll move on to the next fucking topic. But
Yeah.
that's why we're sitting here, right?
Talking
We have
about
different
Jerry's going to
opinions.
table that and be like, "All right, I'm going to pull this back out when you least expect it."
Probably,
Bam.
probably.
Gotcha, motherfucker.
But not on the
Gotcha,
next. Maybe on the next episode.
Yeah. No, and there is a reason why we decided to do this episode before we went any further.
Yeah.
Because the reason why we even started this was that we are going to touch on harder subjects that a lot of people don't want to talk about and are afraid to say anything because of the repercussions of what's going to happen.
And so then we can keep going. We can go a little over an hour if you want.
Yeah.
Cancel culture. What do you think about the cops having cameras on?
Oh, they should definitely have it on there.
See?
100%.
You said cops or what?
Having cameras on, body
100%.
cameras.
Cameras don't
It's
lie.
another.
But
it's
that
another
goes back to
viewpoint.
what the wizard was saying, personal accountability.
Right. But see, here's the difference though. Law enforcement is what? A public servant.
Yeah.
That is our tax money. So we, the people, should be able to say what
Yep.
they have and what
Yep.
they don't.
Yep.
And I had a motorcycle cop almost pull me over there. I think he had his lights on me for a long time, but I
Yeah.
was just riding. I didn't even notice him behind me, right? he got in front of me and he pointed like this, point over to the right lane and told me to get over. And I went like this. And then he turned his lights on again and said, get over in the right lane. So I got over and then I got on the shoulder and I stopped and he kept going.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, was he mad because I was like, he's behind me, so I'm doing the speed limit. I
Right.
don't want to fucking get pulled over.
Right.
What the fuck was his deal?
So that's accountability, right? That's a bad police officer. That
Right.
so we need
So
need to
I
hold
pulled
the
over to
police-
the side of the road, and then he drove off. I waited for like 2 minutes. I was like, I'm not gonna wait for this guy to come all the way
man,
back
yeah,
around. And I fucking
Fuck
bounced.
that.
Yeah, this ain't cancel culture. We can go into this shit because
Well-
I'm all about that. So what
Let's go.
He was power tripping.
See
right?
where it goes.
He was power tripping.
So the
He
police,
was power
a
tripping.
lot of them have unions, right? So it's hard to even do anything because when you write a complaint about a police officer, you know where it goes. You know who investigates that?
They're the
IA.
it's the
No.
it's
The commissioner? Oh.
No,
they have their
they
detectives.
have their own division within the
I've
department
had
that
to do
do
this.
that.
Oh my god!
Right.
Well,
So,
I tell you, there's
so
actually good
listen.
cops,
If
they're
if
detectives.
take it like this, like this is our group,
Police
right?
the
We're all
bad cops.
boys.
Right.
You make a complaint about Joe Bear. I'm like,
You're
okay,
fucking the one
I'm
that's
going to be the one investigating it. Joe Bear, you should not do that.
Right. Right.
We'll do it. We'll talk about this
That's
later.
bullshit. That's bullshit right there.
Yeah. But yes, and I think that you should have a camera on your car,
Oh, I pulled my phone out immediately.
right?
And I was, as soon as he walked up, I was ready. I'm like, dude, I'm recording this shit. Because
Right.
what
Yeah.
the fuck, dude? I was doing the speed limit. What
But
did you
guess
pull
what?
me over for?
That's your constitutional right. That's your First Amendment.
First Amendment is freedom of speech.
Really? What else?
Just I don't know. I haven't read it. Does it say I can videotape anything?
Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and shit.
I know. I should know.
God damn it! No, it's
on,
fuck. COVID brain. I said it earlier.
the pursuit of happiness and all that. Jazz.
No, fuck. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and
Freedom to harm.
The right to be safe and
cut.
I know, right?
Cut.
It's like
Well, you
the
want me to read it for you?
Yeah,
Really?
it's
yeah.
freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and
the right to be
reporting.
safe
Something,
and the
something about reporting or something like that.
freedom of the press.
freedom
So
of the press,
that's what it says right here. Yeah.
Freedom of the press.
speech.
I said it
and
earlier and
the
I can't even
press.
think of it. God damn it! I look stupid now. Sorry.
Or the right of the people
You're just catching up. That's all.
Yeah. COVID, man.
peaceably
Kick my ass.
to assemble and petition the government for
How do you hold them
redress
accountable?
of grievances.
So it's part. So they've had multiple rulings on this, and it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't have the case numbers. I don't have who was versus, but they've had multiple accounts where it went to the Supreme Court about videotaping police officers and public servants in their line of duty.
And you could do
But
it.
am I a member of the press?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody is that has
Everyone.
one of these now.
Yep. Everyone is a member of the press. Everyone.
Why do you think that you could take pictures of people? And this is where it gets. This
Then
is
why-
where the
'cause you
line
know
gets
why?
weird.
Why do you
me.
have to have press badges to
You
get
don't.
into stuff?
You don't.
Well, that's official. That's
No.
official.
Yes,
No.
you do.
That's official.
So that's a made up bullshit that they made to where. So like I've watched a lot of auditors, right?
Uh-huh.
And they will go into these places where it's press only. They have their setup
yeah.
and they can go in. But police officers don't like that. And then they'll question it and say, "Well, where's your press badge?" You don't have to have a press badge to become part of the press. We can sit there and we can go out on the street right now and say we're recording for the janitorials.
They just do it because they want to know who's out there. They want to know who's who out in the crowd. I mean, it's just the
They're
same.
probably not going to get
It's-
any of their questions answered or be able to ask any of the questions.
Right.
But they'll still be able to go in there and record it.
Right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense because it's open to the public. Technically,
Right.
the press is the public.
Record it. Aren't there certain states that like you have to let the other person know
No,
that
sir.
you're recording?
Yeah, there's definitely certain
Was it?
states.
No, sir.
There's
Was it?
That's-
There's states.
that's-
like
No,
third
that's
party
recording.
Has to be
That's recording,
a phone
not
call.
not video. That's
Yeah, that's
voice only.
That's voice.
Oh, yeah,
So
videos-
that's
videos
different.
So
aren't
like,
involved.
so like in Virginia, you have to let people know that you're recording them. Like that's why they say this phone call may be recorded.
Right.
Now, but listen, and where a lot of these things happen is in the public's view. So anywhere you can video anything that you can see from a public point of view.
Right,
So if I'm standing
right.
on a sidewalk out
Right.
right out in front of your house,
Yeah.
I can record inside your house, and you can call the cops. They'll come and investigate a suspicious person.
I don't own that property. It's public property.
Right.
Right,
Right.
but-
yep.
What the police is going to try to do is try to get my ID, which I've done nothing wrong, broken no laws, so
Right.
they don't have any right to
They
see
can't,
who I do.
because you're on
but they're
public
still going to
property.
ask.
Yep.
And when you politely tell them no, and you tell them exactly what I just said, they're going to get pissed off. They're going to ask
Yeah.
for backup. Then you continue to say what you're saying. Then you
Yep.
say that I'm going to pull my Fifth Amendment right. And I'm not going to answer any more of your questions because they have
I've
to
seen
have.
that so many times.
So you have to
many
have
times. Audit
What
the
is
audit.
the rule? what is the rule? I can't think of it. Oh man, I ain't even gonna say it. Forget it. I can't remember, man. COVID brain.
You'll remember here in a
COVID
couple
brain.
minutes.
Remember,
But-
every episode's done
Yeah.
A couple minutes.
So
in 5 minutes.
what the police officer should do at that time, right, is tell you
5 minutes.
that if you don't like what he can publicly see from your inside of your house from public view, hang curtains up.
I should block the view.
Right.
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 But you're still not going to like it because I'm recording your house, right? You know,
Well, I'm gonna come out and see you. Like,
right? But then that can cause an altercation, and if you get physical, that's crossed the line.
No, what you do is you go to where you're
Fence
the
line.
last square on your
So then in-
walk, and you record him.
in that situation, who should get canceled?
It depends on what I'm trying to shoot for. If that person's doing it maliciously, then that person standing there recording your house should be canceled.
If you're a
But
celebrity,
people, let's say like if people are doing it, they do it to celebrities all the time, like Joe Bear was talking about. Like they stand
Yep.
outside their fucking house and they take pictures of them as they're trying to get in and out of
and
cars.
they can't do shit.
You can't.
Should they be canceled?
No,
No.
because they're doing what the law permits them to do.
Now, but what I'm saying is like if they have malicious intent, right? So like if they're trying to get
They
pictures of
are.
your daughter
They
inside
are.
your house, then I say absolutely 100% they need to be canceled, right? Or if they're trying to catch you or your wife naked, absolutely that should be.
Well, I walk
canceled.
around naked all the time. We don't have that many.
we know what I'm
we
going to
don't
be
have
doing
that many
later.
curtains.
So stay on that fucking on the
If you're a
sidewalk.
voyeur, come see me.
All I gotta say is, if you're gonna step in the ring, you better be ready to get canceled.
No, you should know your rights, and it should be
Yep.
it should be
Well,
left up to every
That's
single
why
individual.
step
Not
in the ring. If you're not ready to get in the ring,
Yep.
shut the fuck up.
it shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you think the police officers are here to protect and serve, you're 100% wrong. They are here.
Woo!
They are here for
A job.
to uphold the Constitution.
No, they don't hold the Constitution worth shit.
That is
I would
what they
say they're
swore an
they're
oath to.
they more here. They're more here to
Come on,
secure.
man.
Culture against the
100.
cops.
I'm just telling you what in a perfect
know,
world
we
what
know.
it should
That's
be.
a perfect world. They do the oath. It says on the side of the car to protect and serve, right?
right. But it is left up to
No.
us to
Punish and to
protect
save.
myself. It
Right.
is up to me.
Right.
Yes.
Right. They
I
don't.
should
They
be able
don't.
to protect myself.
You cannot sue the police department for not coming there on time when you called them. Right.
But
They're really there to protect state property.
That's it.
State property.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
So if you say somebody's out in my front yard, the cops are going to pull up because they're like, "This is public property." That's what their jurisdiction
they're gonna
is.
what they're gonna do is they're gonna say that they're investigating a suspicious person.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up with. You guys can continue after I do.
Oh, we're definitely going.
But seems how you just said that paparazzi are not breaking any laws. They're doing what they're completely allowed to do.
That's why you need a fence.
I'm canceling America. Thank you, UK, because
you okay?
if you think a fucking video of a famous person getting in their car is cool and it's something that you search out, I cancel you.
I can't.